just to give you some idea how the scriptures take every opportunity to bring to you various types of philosophy, various types of insight. So when Kansa heard that Akashvani, the celestial voice, and drew out his sword, Vasudeva began to give him lessons. He says, "O king, Kansa, death comes to everyone." You are soul. So why should you be afraid of death? Every jiva follows according to karma. The mind in every person is the source of countless impurities as well as purities. So why don't you prepare yourself for attaining liberation instead of killing your sister? Of course, Kansa paid absolutely deaf ear to all that. Realizing that he can't hear anymore, Vasudeva ultimately said, "All right, I will give the baby born and you kill." So it so happened that he went on. First time, there was some hesitation. And there are different interpretations. Few children were born, and Kansa didn't do any harm to them, thinking that the eighth will be the one. But sage Narada became impatient that God is supposed to incarnate. And if the demoniac force begins to practice charity, his incarnation will be delayed. So Narada visited Kansa. And put 8 people in a circle and told him, suppose 8th is going to kill you, do you know which one is the 8th? You can count from different points and then everyone can become the 8th. It appealed to Kansa. So he killed them all. Now, when you hear of babies being killed, it's a very terrible situation. But that's the only way you can tell human beings the implication of what would happen in your mind. You have gone through miseries that can be compared to facing a mother seeing her baby killed. But that's only one measuring point, just like you measure light years. The scriptures give you measurement for joy and for sorrow. Taittiriya Upanishad gives the measurement of happiness. If suppose someone was young and ruling the entire earth and all were friendly with him, how much will be his happiness? 100 units happiness is available in another level. 100 times that is available in another. But all that is available if you attain enlightenment. In the same way, how much misery can you suffer at the hands of ignorance? To you, what is dramatized is only children being killed. I'm not underestimating it. But don't you realize you have been through that, through millions of lives. Every life has brought fond situations, great joy, thrill, attachment. And Kansa killed you. Mercilessly. These points are being drawn into very simple story. That Kansa is killing the babies. The babies are, from another angle, different concepts that you hold in your mind. You hold them so tight that when those concepts, when your illusion breaks, it begins to break your heart. But those illusions have to break. The moment you are in a situation of supported by Vasudeva type of personality and Devaki is the mother, in that setting, then you permit the breaking of illusions. Go on breaking it. It impacts my heart, but doesn't matter. I will take more medicine. Because what you are expecting is Krishna. The idea of the joy of liberation, that's an idea. You are not experiencing it. But your faith must give you a strength to bear through all tests and turmoils, equivalent to situation like this. That's the message behind it. Now, seventh child came in the womb of Devaki, and the seventh was going to be Balarama, incarnation of cosmic mind. In Rama's incarnation, that was Lakshmana. That special principle that follows Krishna closely. In practical world, Balarama is the will power within you. Will that has become devoted to spiritual movement, Krishna. That will becomes the basis of your vrata, great resolutions. The faith in your heart comes to a very high level on the basis of the will. And that was Balabhadra, Balarama. Krishna has favorite flute in his hand, and Balarama has a plough on his neck. The Balarama movement ploughs up your mental process, preparing it for spiritual movement, spiritual harvesting. When you do ploughing, it is not so melodious. Now, So Balarama came in this as the seventh child, but divine plan created a shift. Vasudeva had another wife, Rohini. Rohini and many others had escaped the torture of Kansa. So Rohini lived in Gokul. Gokul is a village type of a place, and in that village, the chief of that village was Nanda, and Nanda's wife is Yashoda. That whole story you will hear very soon, because that's where Krishna is going to grow up. Nanda relates to joy. See, it's an aspect of Ananda. And Nanda's wife Yashoda, literally Yashoda, Yashahada, one who gives Yasha. Yasha is the fame of God manifested through her. These are all different aspects of your chitta. Especially termed mati aspect, mati understanding. The understanding grows, rather emanates from your deepest level. That understanding manifested in Devaki, which is the mother of Krishna, actual mother. But Krishna was brought up by Yashoda. How it happens, that's the story I'm going to tell you. In other words, if aspiration dawns within your heart, two special aspects of your inner life, inner personality will help that aspiration to grow. Yashoda aspect and Nanda aspect. Lord Vishnu directed his Maya Shakti to help Balaram. In brief, Balaram was taken away from the womb of Devaki and placed in the womb of Rohini. Rohini became pregnant, and there was miscarriage for Devaki. Then this news came, because Kansa was, which is fingers crossed, Kansa was waiting for the baby. But the news came to him that was a miscarriage. He was frustrated. Always he enjoyed choking the neck. Seems horrible, but look at life. The whole process, world process, enjoys choking up every little thing you love, including your own body. That Devi, that she transferred Balaram, so Balaram is also known as Sankarshana, one who has been drawn, as well as Sankarshana implies one who is drawing all souls, directing them to Krishna. So Rohini gave birth to a child, and the child later known as Balarama. And the Devi herself incarnated as the child of Yashoda. Yashoda also became pregnant. And that at this level, at this stage, Yashoda is far away, unaware of the story of Vasudeva and Devaki. Nanda was always a great friend of Vasudeva. In that friendly relation, it was so settled that no matter whatever may be the trouble, the other one, friends will count upon each other. Devi is known by different names. She is known as Durga. Any obstacle that comes in your life is called Durg, as if you have come to a castle. And Durga enables you to cross over it. In order, Bhadra Kali. Bhadra is gentle. Kali, devourer of all your troubles, in a gentle way. Vijaya leads you to victory. Vaishnavi leads you to great sattva. Kumuda allows you to blossom like a lily or lotus. Chandika allows you to hold the hurricane in your hand. Against negative forces. Krishna brings out the glory of Krishna through her. And there are different names. That's what the beauty of Sahasranam. God is adored through countless names. And later, the time came for Krishna to be born. And during that time, Kansa was extremely tense, constantly imagining that Krishna is, the one who is going to kill him is coming. Before he breathes, he should put his fingers into his neck. During the time when Devaki was about to give birth, there was a congregation of all gods. Lord Shiva, Brahma, they all visited the prison house. Sages, all gods, along with Narada. And they offered prayers. Glorifying God. The essence of the prayer is that always God has been protecting humanity through different incarnations. He is the source of all elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. He is the ruler of mind and senses. The entire world process is like a big tree. It is supported by Prakriti, nature, which is an Maya Shakti of God. This tree brings about two types of fruit, bitter and sweet, pleasure and pain. It has three roots that nourish it: They are sattva, rajas and tamas. It brings 4 types of taste. They relate to 4 purusharthas, 4 values of life. Dharma, ethical value. Artha, material. Kama, vital. Moksha, spiritual. And it has 5 aspects. You experience through your ears, that's one aspect of the world. Experience through touch, another aspect. Through your eyes, third aspect. Through your tongue, fourth aspect. Through your nose, fifth aspect. If your nose is smashed, fifth aspect gone. If your eyes are gone, you have 2 aspects gone. So only through 5 senses. So everyone is under terrible risk. Big world. And when you lose just one little aspect within your body and you are losing 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, and you know that all the 5/5 will be gone. And various changes that occur, or bhava vikaras, to be born, to exist, to grow, to change, to have transformation, to die. And the various elements in your body, like blood, flesh, marrow, etc., they are all the constituents of that tree. They are big branches in the form of subtle elements, mind, intellect, ego. And the leaves of the tree are the 10 pranas. Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, they are the major pranas. And then there are minor pranas, naga, kurma, krikal, devadatta, dhananjaya. Thus they offered prayers. Thus means I will not go through all that. Just giving an example of how every situation brings out a lot of philosophical matter. And finally, Krishna was born. And to summarize the story, he was born during the middle of the night, during the dark half of the month, and during the extreme rainy weather. The first stage of his birth, he manifested in his divine form before his father Vasudeva, Devaki, and before all the gods who were praising him and having spoken words of profound wisdom. He gave blessings to the parents. And Yashoda says, Rather, Devaki said, "Oh Lord, become a child now." Whether she said or not, I don't know. But before that, Krishna had given instruction that his Vasudeva should take him, cross over the Yamuna river, and transfer the babies where Yashoda has given the child, girl child. Krishna should be placed there and the girl child should be brought. And that was the whole project. And Vasudeva didn't argue or didn't say anything. He didn't say, "How can I go? My hands are tired, my feet are tired." And to come to a level of understanding and experience of faith, that you don't lose your mental imagination or create a stress. Great things occur in your life when you are stress-free. Miracles happen. That's demonstrated at this stage. Vasudeva, at that time, all the chains broke loose. He found himself free. Looked around, everyone was in deep sleep. No one had any idea of any movement. Absolute calm. Pin drop silence. He turned to the gate, to the door. The locks it was open, ajar. He found a little vessel made up of leaf or whatever, a little basket. Placed Krishna on it, the baby Krishna, and simply went out without thinking where he is going. Out he went into the rain. The rain was torrential. But he didn't step back, he simply moved on. Miracle, not a single drop entered. He didn't even look back. What was the reason? The fact was the cosmic mind, Sheshanag, assuming the form of a big snake with 1,000 hoods, became the umbrella. This is highly poetic, but must realize this predicament you are facing at every moment. Led by your karmic process, led by God within you. The whole world is filled with torrential rains of trouble. Who is protecting you? All the cells within you protect you. All the nerves protect you. They have no power. They are just brittle, little. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. So Sheshanag was protecting him. Now Vasudeva goes. The Gokul is across the Yamuna river. And Yamuna river was in flood. Vasudeva didn't think. Simply steps into the river. Beginning stage, it was only up till knee deep. Now he goes waist deep. Now it's come to shoulder deep. The story is that Yamuna river was so thrilled that Krishna was there in the basket. It took Ganga Devi to be born but through a very complicated process. So why not I touch the feet of Krishna? So that was all in the mind of Yamuna river. So went on rising. Krishna, seeing that the father is in trouble, dropped his foot. Yamuna river touched it. So thrilled, it became completely, gave passage, like a miracle. Think of the beauty behind it. The world that tries to submerge you bows down to your spiritual movement and facilitates your movement towards God realization. And with this, I will facilitate you to have some relaxation. Shanti.